topic of this video might be one of the most controversial ones I've discussed. I posted a video a few months back covering this a little bit, and the comments shocked me. Things like, you don't do that in the golf swing. Only PGA Tour players can do that. It's impossible to time. So many of those comments were saying, I don't do that. I do it a different way. You don't. You have to do this. We're talking about the release. So that it would be from, let's say, club level to the ground to impact, and how you square the club face. This topic was me saying that from here to the golf ball, that club face is open, and you as the golfer need to square that club face. And again, because of me saying it was open and it needed to square, some people were saying, you've got a millisecond, too hard, can't do it. We need a different way. There is no different way. Let me explain what I mean. So in every golf swing, every single golf swing, we set up, hopefully with the club pointing at our target, and in the backswing, this golf club opens by about 90 degrees in the backswing. Therefore, in the downswing, if you want to hit the ball straight, you have to rotate that club face 90 degrees back to where it came from. That is the true skill of the game. If you can do that and develop that, you'll hit it straight. If you can't do that, you won't hit it straight. You'll spend some time looking for some golf balls. Let me explain. Right, let me take a set of this golf ball. I'm going to stand up dead straight. This is my golf posture. I'm just not tipped over the golf ball. This is going to make it much easier for us to understand. Look at the grooves on the golf ball. Look at the leading edge, perfectly vertical. That is my neutral position. If I want to hit a golf ball straight, I've got to get back to here. Now, in my takeaway, what do? I rotate my shoulders. What does that club do? Leading edge stays vertical. There's no rotation. If I rotate back, it's going to come back to the same point. Shoulders turn back, shoulders turn through. There is zero rotation of that club face. It would be incredibly easy to hit the ball straight. What about if I go a little bit longer? Well, again, grooves, as you can see, still vertical, no rotation, rotate back, really easy to hit straight. Let's try and make a fuller backswing. Let's go back, and I'm kind of stuck. Shoulders have turned, not quite 90, but through 90. Club is still at vertical, but I'm stuck. Can't go any further. That isn't a full backswing. The club's got to get around here somewhere. So how do I get that club around behind me? Well, I'm going to rotate and fold my arms. Watch the club head. I rotate and fold my arms, and guess what? Look at that leading edge. It's no longer vertical. It's now pretty much horizontal, as is my left arm. So when the leading edge of the club is matched to my lead arm, we can 100% say it is 90 degrees rotated from where it was at the start. Grooves at vertical, it rotates by 90 degrees to match my left arm. So if I take an address and I make a relatively normal backswing, if that leading edge is about the same as my lead arm, which hopefully it is, that club is open by 90 degrees. We've got to square it back up. So if I do it from here to there, rotate the arms and start my downswing, I'm going to do nothing with my hands and arms, nothing with my hands and arms, nothing with my hands and arms. Look where that club is. That club is pointing up at the sky. That is not neutral, that is not square. If I tipped over, that's my delivery position. I have to square that club face. It's not going to square on its own. And I've had people say, you square the club with the body turn. If I turn the body, sorry, that club is not going to square. If I turn my body, lean the hands forward, that club is not going to square. How does that club square up? You do it. You have to square that club. You're the golfer. You're holding that golf club. You are responsible for taking that club, which at this point is 90 degrees open, and you have to square it. That's the skill of golf. You can't get away from it. I did have people contact me saying, I swing different. I keep the club face square throughout the golf swing. Well, if you did, your golf swing would look like this. I don't think that's particularly good golf swing. So every golf swing, club opens, you have to square it. How do you learn how to do that? So I've put a tee into the back of my glove, okay? And when I get into my delivery position, notice how that tee points at that camera, okay? When I rotate and I square the face, the tee is going to point pretty much back towards my target. give or take. So I need to learn how to take my hand from this position, and I need to learn how to get the golf club down to the ball, which is through my wrist set. You can see how as I uncock my wrists, the club goes down to the ground, but the tee still points at that camera. So I need to learn how to, from here, uncock my wrists and rotate that tee to point back at the target. And that is happening in a millisecond. It's incredibly difficult to think about. You have to work on timing. I've got to learn to, from here, how to uncock my wrists and point the tee back at the target. There's two things that are happening. And if I do that, I'm able to hit it pretty straight. So how do you practice it? I've got my target, the flag, and here's what I'd love you to do. Don't always have to work on the right position to learn how to do something correct. So what I'm going to get you to do is find your delivery position here. Club level with the ground, hands over your thigh, club face is 90 degrees open, we can't get away from that. I want you to deliver a golf club with the face open, ball shot out to the right. I then want you to do the same little exercise, which I'm pretty sure you've guessed where we're going with this, is slightly closed. Now, if you can do the right and you can do the left, you should be able to do something which is sort of in between those. And that one went pretty much in between the two. So I'm learning how to take a golf club which started at this vertical position. As I swung back, it opened by 90 degrees. I rotated down into my delivery position. Club was still open by 90, and I'm learning, which is the key bit, I'm learning how to take that club face and deliver it open, deliver it closed, and deliver it square. Trust me, there is no movement that you can make which is going to do it for you. It's not a case of, so many golfers will say things like, you get into delivery position, you rotate the body and it squares the face. It doesn't. Trust me. Try it. Put the club here, rotate the body and see what happens. You're going to arrive at the ball, but the club face is going to be way, way open. You have to learn how to control that club face. And there's a couple of other exercises you can do. I've got an alignment stick here. I'm going to place that towards my target. You can use something similar. You need something that's got relatively flat end, that alignment stick has. And I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to learn how to take my delivery and just knock that alignment stick pretty much straight towards my target. The beauty with this little exercise is you can do this at home, you can do this in the garden, you can do this in the office, but I can just learn how to drive that alignment stick pretty straightforward. If you do it incorrectly, if you have the face open, you can see how the alignment stick goes off to the right. So you can use, I don't know, a piece of wood, an empty golf club box, your alignment sticks with a cover on, something like that. But if you're not developing and you're not working on this skill, then you're not working on and developing your ability to hit the ball straight. Club face control and ball striking are probably the two skills which separate the best in the world. They always strike their irons solid, and they always, within reason, control the direction. If you're struggling, chances are you're going to be struggling with one or both of those elements.